This is episode 7 of the Greentruck Records Podcast. Joined as always at this point by my dearest friend and other half of Cobra Hunter, Mr. Shelby. Cobra, Shelby, how are you today?
Feeling good, looking good.
I know you're looking good.
How are you doing, Bubba?
That's none of your business, and I'll thank you to stay out of my personal affairs.
I haven't walked past a mirror yet, besides this little camera that I'm looking at now.
No, I can tell.
I'd say good.
You look like you got dressed in the dark.
This is probably one of the first words I've spoken all morning. The girls have been sleeping. So.
Hello, you got to clear your throat out a little bit. Slim out. I did my vocal warm-ups before coming on because I'm a prepared host.
Right.
We got to talk about "Kiss Me to Death," which is it kind of, maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't agree with me, but it kind of turned out to be my favorite song on the Cobra Hunter album.
I love it. I really do. I love it. We tackled a freaking rock ballad.
Yeah, it's a ballad, which is, if you know me, if you know you, and you're like, hey, Cayle and Shelby are making music together, and I think I could give you a whole bunch of options of like types of songs that we would write, and ballad be
lower,
square at the bottom of the list. I don't even know what would. I mean, maybe like a rap rock song would be more likely or something, but it would be low, and I think that's why I love it so much, because it's just. I mean, it's fun. It's kind of out of left field a little bit for me and you, but we took it super seriously, and I'm so hyped on the result. It's just, to me, it's a really good song, regardless of who's performing it. Like, I love the way you constructed it, like the hook and everything. And it's one of those songs that I think if anybody could, like somebody with, like a pop star or somebody with like one of those big power voices or whatever, could take it and sing it and would kill it. And we just happen to be the ones that thought of it and put it on, and recorded it first. But I swear, I think it's just it's a good song.
Yeah, well, if we're lucky, that happens, right?
Somebody better than us can take it.
These two turds wrote a pretty good song.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear you guys sing it. So, okay, well, let's talk about how it started. I think what happened was I said we need a ballad. Like, you should write a ballad. So, which is great for me, because then I just get to assign work. I'm like, hey, Shelby, you've got homework. You should write a power ballad.
All right. Well, I think, you said we need a ballad, or we need something like that to round out. If we can round out this rock album with a ballad.
Yeah.
But, I think Top Gun, the second Top Gun was coming out around that time or something. And I watched the first one again, and there was the sexy part where he goes to the teacher's house. And I can't remember the song right now, but I just remember it set the tone, and I'm like, dude, we got to have a ballad like that, like a big ballad. And then you go down the list of all the greats, like Young Guns and all that kind of shit, like all those.
Yes.
Then you get Bon Jovi, Wanted, Dead or Alive, and I'm like, November Rain. And then you start like, all right, if we're going to do it, I want to make a big one, like really big. And that's what we kind of set out to do. I'm like, if we're going to do this, we're going to not cut any corners, find a butt rocking ripper for a solo on this thing, and make it an arena rock song.
Yeah, well, I thought about it too, and we were kind of messing with it at first, and it was kind of weird how, like, real rockers, I mean, like, Bon Jovi and Skid Row and, Motley Crue and all these guys are like real rockers. They're not, some kind of fly-by-night. I don't know, these guys like grew up playing rock and, Guns N' Roses especially, and they're like rockers to the core, and they took those songs seriously. So I was like, I guess we don't have to take ourselves as people seriously. As long as we take the song construction and sound and all that seriously, then it'll be cool. And I think that's what happened is, like, so you would send over a part that would make me laugh, because it's like, it's a power ballad part, but I'd be like, this is it though. We could, or like, we can do it better or whatever. I just think once it got into our collective consciousness, we couldn't turn down like our filter of quality. Like, we couldn't say, let's make this song a joke. Like, we really put our hearts into it.
Hell no. I hope I didn't come off to sound like it was a joke at all, because like I think, hey, the listener can feel that shit right off the bat. You know what I
Yep.
mean? If you have like tongue-in-cheek type of humor going on at the same time. I mean, I really wanted to write a really good, big ballad. You know what I mean? And when I started, you know, like the Young Guns and that kind of stuff, I liked a lot. I liked to have just a little bit of the outlaw cowboy edge kind of thing.
Right.
But I wanted to make it big, like "Mama, I'm Coming Home," like Ozzy. You know what I mean? It's not. You don't even need a ton of chords and a lot of shit going on. You just need like big, huge, sing along type hook, right? And then I think when I went down the cowboy path, I was listening to El Paso, that old Marty Robbins song, "Out in the West Texas town of El Paso."
Yep.
And I read something like Willie Nelson had written a song. Seven Spanish Angels was he wrote that kind of as a sequel to the El Paso song, or like a
that's cool. I
sister
never
song
heard that.
to it. And he's like, and he didn't sell it like that. But I was like, yeah, that's cool. I would love to fucking write a song in the view of the dying dude. Like literally in the lap of the maiden as she's looking down on him, and they're going to come and off them both. Like, kiss me to death, you know? And I just thought that was a really cool, like, odd little phrase anyways, you know? And I just worked off of that.
And you sent me the chorus on a piano, just you and a piano, I think. You kind of just doing like just quarter note, just like, dun, kiss me to death. Dun,
That's probably all the piano I know right there, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was swingy yet. I think we changed it to the swing to 3, you know, so it was like, kiss me to death.
Right,
I think we did that a little bit later, but you sent over the hook and on the piano, and I was like, yep, this is it. Like, we can definitely do it. You know, that really like inspired me. And then you know, I don't think a lot of the more metal-y sound and stuff, I tend to write, you know, all the music for it and give it to you, and then you tell me what sucks about it or what doesn't work for your voice, and then I'll change it up. But this, I felt like you were really leading the way musically. You know, like the verse and everything. I think you were leading the way, and then we kind of got it complete, right? And then we did something which we had never done before, which I think is really cool, is we started bringing in people who could really play, like studio musicians, which I never thought, especially for this project. I'm like, this is just me and my buddy Shelby. We can do everything. But when you brought in your buddy, the piano player, he did the whole song front to back with his piano, right? Everything. And that changed the whole dynamic of what the whole direction of the song. Like, at that point, it became more of like a piano driven song that had guitars in the chorus and everything like that. But it was like, it changed everything. What was his name?
Yeah.
'Cause he crushed it.
Michael Musumeci, he's a local kid. He's a Mustang, helps with our band whenever we can, but anything the dude touches just starts sounding huge. And that could just be the nature of the piece of piano, but this guy's like, I don't know, it's got like this classically trained kind of touch to it. It sounds really good. And he kind of knows, I mean, he doesn't stomp all over everything, you know what I mean? It's tasteful. It's fucking tasteful.
It is tasteful, and that's when he sent it over, and it was just piano, and then I was like, after that, just try not to get in the way.
Yeah.
It was like he was sprucing up the verses a little bit, so they sounded a little bit more interesting, but he wasn't just showing off the whole time. And then during the chorus, he just went big and open and kind of stayed out of the way too, you know, and it really opened up for your vocals. And so after that, it was like, only add elements that support the piano, you know?
Right.
So even the drums, like, I remember we started with the drums, they were way more active. Then I was like, nope, let's just take those down to like really simple beat and a rim shot so the piano could be forward and the vocals could be forward. But he changed the whole nature of that song. And then, so I started putting down, like, you know, guitars and, you know, for the big chorus and stuff, which obviously seems kind of easy, but then, because that's right in my wheelhouse, you know, it's like, hey, get some big heavy sounding guitars for the chorus. Okay, check. But then we got to the bridge, and it was like, we need a super ripping November Rain solo. You know,
Yeah.
I don't got that in my bag of tricks. I don't have, and I've never wanted to be like like a solo, like a lead guitar player or whatever. But
Yeah.
this song really needed it. It needed like a cool bridge section that elevated it. And then,
Yeah, dude, you need Slash outside the church in the freaking wind with the, getting it. Just
But
getting
that-
after with his shirt off.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then you had the guy. Again, I didn't do
I
anything.
had
That's
the
what I'm
dude.
saying. You had the dude. You're just like, I got it. Hold on, let me dial him in.
And I swear, so this is just kind of a weird thing, but I tattoo, and I've been tattooing these nice people in town for a long time, and she always talks about her son being a guitarist, which a lot of people fucking say that, but they ain't shit, And you're like,
Almost always,
yeah, kid's cool. And then eventually she gives me his name, and I look up his website because he has one, and the kid's a ripper, John Yadon Jr., right? And he's a really, really nice guy. Cold called him and said, hey, you want to be part of this and tattoo your mom? He was, oh yeah, I've heard about you. Let's give it a shot. Dude, I mean, at first we let him off the hinges, remember? I said, all right, well, let's just let him go.
Yeah, you're just like, do
I
what
said,
you want.
this is what we want. 80s ripper, no holds barred. He definitely did that. Like, he came through, I think there was hammer-ons and shit before we even got to the meat of it. It was bad.
Even before the solo, he was already ripping everywhere. It was like the whole thing was just drenched in guitars and like, sweeps and arpeggios and everything. And I was like, holy
Between you
Lord.
and me, I still have that copy on my computer that I listen to because it's just so rad.
It is pretty rad. It had like, I think it had like 4 guitar tracks, like he had harmonies. He had he was just going the whole time. But we had to give him some instruction after that. But I thought I would rather tame somebody down, than have to say, no, give me a little bit more. Give me a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we gave him some good instruction. I forget what it was. It was, just...
Well, no, I mean, you had told him, you're like, I want somebody to sing this melody. I want it to be almost like a melody line of a guitar. And then let him have it for like the last couple seconds. Let him know that you're bad. And that's it. He came so correct with that. And you know what? The email was kind of like, yeah, I got it. And then the next thing he sent me was the one we used. Like, he just on top of it.
Yeah, and that's, it's so funny because that's us putting on our producer hats, like we're trying to produce a song, right? But we're not producers. Yeah. It's just like that's just what we want. But I do feel like the best guitar solos, you can hum them. They almost sound like just a souped up human voice. That's why they stick in your head, because you can kind of like hum these parts. They don't have any lyrics or anything, but they just have a good melody and a good vibe. And then at the end, it's like, show them why you're the person on this track,
Yeah, right?
And then, of course, leading right into the key change, he was just like, and I was like, oh, I got so pumped when he did his little run leading up to it, He nailed it, because I really do. I love the solo section, and I don't give a piss about guitar solos. I really don't. But I love that section because it truly like elevates the song, especially going into the key change. Now,
so just to say it again, homie's name is John Yadon Jr. And if you guys want to look him up, like, he's got a little YouTube channel and stuff like that. He's got a band of his own. The last time I spoke with him, he was living in Austin, I believe. And unfortunately, I don't know the name of the band now, but if you were to watch his videos, because the kid's worth a shot, dude. He's just really, really good.
Oh yeah, I follow him on Instagram and stuff, and it's like, it barely feels like we play the same instrument, because I'm just playing like power chords, or I'll tune everything down so I can like, play everything on a single string sometimes, and he does like acrobatics on his guitar. It's like a physical feat, the type of stuff he can do.
So you can see when they're smooth. I'm sitting here, got my tongue out, stonking away on the strings. I'll piece some stuff together, you know what I mean? But some people, it's like an extension of their body. It's crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't have to think. If you're just like, hey, get me here, he'll be like, oh, and just feels it. It's like, all right, got it. And the people like that, they blow my mind. And he's one of those guys. He
make me angry.
Yeah,
I hate them.
I'm insanely jealous, of course. I mean, I hate him. I blocked him on Instagram. Don't be in my world. I don't want to even see that. It make me feel bad about myself.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. You
but
want to feel skinny, hang around fat people. You know what I mean?
do you do you remember who thought of the key change?
Um, nope. But I'm glad whoever did.
Yeah, I don't remember if that was just one of those things that
I
we were
think
like,
it was probably you. You're really good with the arranging thing. Like I'll thunk out a song with my verse and my chorus and stuff like that, and then I usually hand it over to you. But I think what had happened is once you get to the end of the solo, we needed to add something to make the song climb a little bit, and it was going to end up just going back, and it kind of sounded stale. So we're
yeah,
like, how do we get higher than that?
yeah, and like I never even, key changes are always kind of cheesy because to me it seems like it's almost like a fake way to make something feel more energetic or whatever, and you're just like, oh, you kind of ran out of ideas. But the key change in this, I see why they were popular for a long time, is because like yeah, coming back at you go verse chorus, and you get this solo and it lifts it up, and then you kind of go back into the chorus. It's like I wish it literally like physically lifted it to another place, and that key change made it feel like that. It was like right after that solo, and then you go up that, and then you're just like, oh yeah, we're at a new level now.
Yeah,
And
it's fun as hell to sing too, because all of a
yeah,
sudden you just get to start shouting. Ah.
well, that's what I was afraid of. I was like, is this going to be out of your vocal range? Because I thought the chorus was already kind of at the top, and then we took it up at the end, and I was
Yeah,
like, oh, Shelby's going to be screaming this one.
I just had to wear tighter underwear. I got there. You know
You
what I
got
mean?
it. You nailed it. You nailed it. But and then yeah, that key change I think really just tied a bow on it for me.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
made it a real. That's like a real ballad. It's a real song.
you were talking about the cheesy element, but I mean, by nature, it's a freaking rock ballad. So like, it
Yeah.
already has that. And then, like everything we do, we're like, if we're gonna sell this, we just have to go full steam ahead. You know what I mean? So let's put all those cheesy elements. I think the first thing, even the first one that we had an intro solo, like we used to do in the bleed
Yep.
rock. You know what I mean? Like intro solo, outro solos, like
Yep. Intro solo, bridge
everything.
solo, outro solo.
But
Just
it
put
just
it on.
ended up
Yeah.
being too long, so we cut
We
it back.
we did have to cut this one down because I think once we changed it to the swing time, right, to 3/4, then and the tempo is kind of lower, it started to get into like 5.5, 6 minutes, and the structure wasn't even that crazy. It wasn't
Yeah,
even that
right.
long, but it just the tempo is so much lower, and it's like, oh man, we're gonna have to ruthless edit this thing down because
Yeah.
nobody's
But
gonna
it's
sit
an
for
ear.
6 minutes.
Hey, it's an earworm too. Like this shit gets stuck in your head hella fast.
It
Crystal
does.
Peach knew that song right after she heard it. You know what I mean? So you'll run around the rest of the day. Kiss me today, and you go, damn that Shelby, damn that Cayle.
I love the song, and we will put the song at the end of this video so you guys can see it and you guys can hear what we're talking about. But I'm just so stoked that we pulled it off. That we said we're gonna make a ballad and we're gonna go for it 1,000%, and we did it. And for me, all I care about when I'm making music is it hits my vision of what I have in my head, and that we can do it and make it as good as we can possibly do it. After that, I
Yeah,
have no idea. So like that's my measure of success. Like, did we get
yeah,
there? And we got there. Like when I heard the master come back, I was like, dude, we did it. Like I cannot believe that this stupid idea of we need a ballad, like we pulled it off, and I felt really really good about it. And it is.
yeah,
It's like there's power ballads. Rock ballads. They have those like cheesy elements. I think they didn't start out cheesy though. Somebody just did them because they were rad. They're just like, hey, we need a slow song, we need a down tempo song, so we make it like this.
You
And
gotta
now they
look at
became cheesy because of like the repetition and the copycats and all that type of stuff. But at the core, it's just good songwriting, I think.
these were being sung by guys who were wearing tight leather pants and dressing up in makeup, and that was the sex symbol of the day. They already had shit that they were working out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They're already like they had a lot of cheese going on. It was all good. Pour it on.
yeah,
Pour some sugar on me, dude.
yep.
You know what I mean?
Just laying it on thick. Well, but I think that's one of the things that's so cool is like those cats are all comfortable in their own skin, and they would be like,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Like, no holds barred. Let's
yeah,
go.
and they're just like, this one's for the ladies. We want to get girls in this band. We need a slow song for girls. Let's write a song for
Yeah.
girls. You know what I mean? But just very upfront, like don't care, just like totally comfortable in their own skin. This one we weren't writing for the ladies. I was just writing it because once we got into it, it's like we need this tempo on the album, and what better way to do it, like just go for a ballad.
I was writing it for the ladies. I don't know what the fuck you're doing over
Yeah,
there.
but that never works for you.
All about
you
the
know,
music. Yeah. No,
It
I
doesn't-
got me a lady that
Yeah.
loves it. You know what I mean? It
well,
worked.
yeah, well, I feel like if you didn't have her before the song wasn't going to do the trick. You know what I mean? So I think you're lucky that you got her before the song came out. She might tell you to hit the bricks after she heard this one. Like, what happened to you? You used to be a country rocker. What happened to you? What are you doing?
Yeah, dude. Dude, is this what I've become?
Yeah. What happened to the man I married?
My buddy Buko, who plays in that Lords of Dust band, I played him before we came out with any of this stuff, and we're driving home from a show. I said, "You want to hear some of this new stuff?" And I'm playing him all the rockers first, and it gets to this one, and it's kind of silent in the back of the truck. You know what I mean? And he's pretty pure rocker. I said, "Well, what'd you think of that one?" He goes, "You wrote a goddamn rock ballad, man." And that's about all I got at it. But I didn't get it sucked, so I considered that a win.
Yeah. He's what happened to my friend? Where's my friend? What happened to you? That's what I love about it, man. I love the curveballs. That's one of the things about the Cobra Hunter project that we keep talking about is it really is whatever comes to our head,
Yeah.
Like as long as it entertains me and you, that's it.
Dude, I was going to talk about that too. Like, well, I mean, ultimately, we're writing these songs because, especially this album, because we wanted to write something that we want to listen to. You know what I mean? So every song is sprinkled with some influence that you can tell almost right away. And dude, we're sitting here like it's Christmas, shooting emails back and forth to each other. You know what I mean? But the cool part is that I think you could hear it on the album, where it's just a good time and album. Put it in the speakers and crank the shit up. You know what I mean? It's awesome.
Yeah, do you feel like sometimes like that just translates, that the good energy comes out somehow, even in the digital world of recording and all that stuff, the vibes come out somehow, they get captured.
I don't know about you, but I can picture a dude's face when he's singing the lines of the song. You know what I mean? And I think if you do it right, you can kind of get that vibe. Like if the guy's got a smirk on his face when he's saying some line of that song, you could just hear it. Yeah. You don't have to be there. We'll talk about a different song, but I got a couple songs where I have a sarcastic line in there, and in my brain, I'm going, I hope people can picture me doing the quote fingers around that line. But you have to sell it, I guess, and you have to feel it yourself, and hopefully it'll come across to everybody else. Yeah.
Well, it does, and that's why I love that we kind of did this record when nobody was looking, because it's like we didn't have to worry about if somebody was going to get it or not. It's like, for me, it was like, is Shelby going to get it?
Yeah.
And for you, it's like, is Cayle going to get it? And I feel more freedom in that, like really going for it with you, than if I was playing for, if I was trying to make something for mass consumption. I think it's just like, I want my friend Shelby to be like, hell yeah, that's awesome. And that right there, that's the record to me. Is like us just trying to get a reaction out of each other, like, oh, I love this. And, it just kept going and it turned out to be a whole album. This, I think, personifies that, though. It really does. Like, it's just like two dudes trying to kind of make each other laugh, but really taking the song seriously. Like
the song is great. We do it in the Mustangs, I've told you. And the coolest part about the song is, we don't have all the same elements in the Mustangs that we did, A, when you're recording, or B, we don't have John Yates on here all the time to rip these solos. I do have Jeff, who's a badass, but he just doesn't play the same type of stuff.
Right.
He loves it, right? And then there's just a lot more acoustic guitar on our live one. So it takes on like this whole different feel, but the song still kills. It's rad. And it just, no matter what element you throw on there, it just takes its own little life, but it's still a pretty cool song. It still gets stuck in your head.
I really hope somebody hears it and decides to do their own version and posts it. And like, I just would love to hear.
Millions and millions of dollars.
Well, yes, I would like to be filthy, extremely, extremely rich, where I can just be an arrogant prick all of a sudden. Like, what? They say money doesn't change people. They say money does not change people. It just exaggerates who I am already. That's what I want from my life. But yeah, I sincerely hope that somebody or a lot of people just take it and be like, do their own version of it. Make it more of a rocker. Make it a slower, more stripped down ballad. Make it more of a country song. I don't know. Like, I feel like just this type of song can go any number of ways. Just whatever way you want to take it and grab it. I hope some people do that, because that would seriously like bring me a ton of joy if that happens.
Well, if they're watching right now, tell them to do it.
Let's go.
I think I recorded it live, and we're going to post that at some point too.
Oh yeah. I would love if you post your live version. So without further ado, this is "Kiss Me to Death" by Cobra Hunter. Thanks to the musicians that helped us out. They totally carried the day for us. Thanks to Guns N' Roses and Slash, for the inspiration. But I hope you all enjoy it. This has been episode, 7? Episode 7 of the Greentruck Records Podcast. Thanks for watching and listening, y'all. Enjoy the song.
A gunshot like hammer to a pin, set off a commotion and lit the fire within. Our love raged like a bullet, destined to find its way. Stopped its destruction, it lodged deep down in my heart. So give me this dying request, drinking my last dying breath. Kiss me to death, carry me home on the lips of an angel. Kiss me.